this particular series of lectures. I'm going to finish on the shorn sonata. I put together some notes on this particular text and the HSC and how you can analyse it better for your classes. I'll also ad-lib some extra points which I haven't really taken notes on, but I think are vital. So, first of all, before I get to the first point, we need to understand that the way that we constructively perceive ourselves and others is invariably challenged and shaped by one's visual sense. This is particularly altered due to our subjective views on the text that we read and are thus confronted with. Hence, this ultimately enables one to shape meaning on how the distinctive visual elements of text bring people and their experiences to life to symbolize common trends that reflect emotional and societal change. And obviously, the shorn sonata does this very well. So, with the Japanese flag, and it is also connected to the kowtow bow in the scene, because when you analyze the flag and the bow at the same time, or if you watch the production, there are quite similar instances. You'll see the flag in many productions in the top right-hand corner, and you will also see that first opening talk or soliloquy or monologue, so to speak, at the beginning. So the kowtow bow in the shorn sonata is pivotal in symbolizing obedience and submissiveness through Misto's use of distinctive visuals. Through these three components of lighting, slides, and the two claps, not to mention the language, which enables the responder to critically shape meaning. The use of slides are immensely crucial to bringing people and their experiences to life through the depiction of women prisoners maintaining a deep, surrendering bow to the Japanese guards. This evokes a sense of empathy as the audience is able to visualize the distressing experiences of the protagonists through the patriarchal relationship of the women and their captors, which suggests the misogynistic attitudes towards women at the time. Simultaneously, the depiction of the Japanese flag serves to create a macabre atmosphere to highlight the cynical nature of both the guards and the tyrannical ideologies of the Japanese government, which undoubtedly aims to affect the responder's interpretation. In particular, Misto's clever use of jargon when the guard calls out "Kirei" is a key component of distinctively visual, as it underpins the demanding motives of the Japanese amongst the women. Thus, this ultimately aids in bringing people and their experiences to life with Misto's use of the word "kirei," and hence enables the audience to shape meaning of the macho Japanese government. Now, some might say it's a bit too far, but certainly you can tone that down in your essay if you want, just a little bit. Furthermore, the two large claps are a critical illustration of the distinctively visual, effectively bringing the disturbing experiences of Bridie and Sheila's time at the POW camp to life, thus underpinning Misto's use of social realism to highlight the harrowing events the nurses encountered during World War II. In particular, the two loud claps echo in the mind of the responder as this symbolizes a dark atmosphere of the camp, hence creating a powerful illustration in the mind of the audience through primarily the distinctively visual element of the claps, highlighting the political concepts of the Japanese. The use of the distinctively visual to the transformation of the shorn is on a contextual level in the play. It holds immense significance by symbolizing various aspects of the lives of Bridie and Sheila that are effectively brought to life. Thus, this allows the audience to shape meaning on the notions Misto aims to portray. There is a level of sentimentality in the shorn's original use. It was a gift from Bridie's father, but subsequently begins to evolve and metaphorically represent larger ideas, which highlights its distinctly visual element. Its first predominant transformation is based on a life-saving object that kept Sheila alive as she was falling asleep in the water, which primarily acted as a catalyst in setting the foundation for the relationship between Bridie and Sheila. This is revealed through Misto's use of onomatopoeia, tap tap tap, which further enhances the distinctively visual element by creating an atmosphere and intensity to the scene, which effectively brings people and their experiences to life, which aids in enabling the responder to shape meaning. In particular, the symbolism of the shoehorn continues to evolve throughout the experiences encountered by Bridie and Sheila at the POW camp, which consequently results as a survival tool to be used to trade and dig up holes. Hence, this enables a responder to shape meaning on the symbolism of the shoehorn holes that represents resilience, courage, friendship, love, and conflict, which certainly serves to affect the respondent's interpretation. Though, in particular, we must not forget the metronome section of the shoehorn's transformation, where it was used to bring the group of POWs together to form a choir. Now, at many levels, this is a motif for their unity and resilience, and also harmony, so please don't forget the metronome when you're analysing this text. In spite of its several transformations that is revealed in various processes and purposes, it is an extremely resourceful tool that was used as trade and by the guards. But there is one important transformation which we must not forget. Fundamentally, when Bridie also carries the belief that Sheila obtained the quinine by exchanging the shoehorn, but had conversely lost her virginity, thus creating internal conflict in the relationship between the protagonists. This evidently reveals the irony of the shoehorn as a small, discrete object metaphorically symbolizes people and their experiences, which is effectively brought to life through the distinctively visual element. This evokes a sense of pathos, as one is able to shape meaning on both the primitive uses and the significance it holds in symbolizing the complexity and enduring nature of Bridie and Sheila's relationship. This amply brings people and their experiences to life. The hymn Jerusalem. Now, before I go through some of my notes, I just want to make it clear that when you analyze Shoehorn Sonata, you must talk about the musical score. If anything, the Shoehorn Sonata, just on its score, is a period piece of music. So there must be some comment made during your analysis in the HSC on the use of music. It'll be very hard not to do it. Most questions enable the responder to actually write something about the music, so please do so if the question obviously asks for it. But I can't see any questions up in the past few years that did not enable a responder to include the value of the music. So in terms of this hymn Jerusalem, obviously it's used to enhance the atmosphere and environment by creating powerful meaning through symbolic techniques pictured by the audience that influence their perspective from the text. The hymn cleverly depicts and is conveyed as a pseudo version of the national anthem, and to many Britons is more than just a song. The meaning behind the song, titled Jerusalem, is the connection the song has to the holy city. The relationship between the city Jerusalem and the famous hymn is the bloodshed and tragedies that has previously occurred, drawing a correlation between the play and the hymn. The hymn also depicts the aspirations of the British and their objective to rule the empire, but also the unity it brings Bridie and Sheila. The audience now sees a different perspective of the world as we know it. We also see the British Empire crumble under the pressure of the Japanese, which is mildly ironic. The responder is now able to sculpture and have a comprehension of a change of a new world order depicted from Britain's lost, from once described as a powerful and wealthy nation to now looked down upon. Don't forget the hymn also creates a sense of nostalgia for the two characters. We must understand that. However, one thing that is much maligned about this particular part of the text is that Song Jerusalem is connected to an organization called the WU, the Women's Union. Now, the Women's Union is a certain group in England and throughout Great Britain for that matter that brings women together to help during wartime efforts. And that is one of the main connections the song Jerusalem has to the women and the text. So don't forget Jerusalem and how important it is to this whole text as a piece. Before I finish, I just want to ad lib on a few points. I haven't written any notes on Prime Minister John Curtin and that particular slide. I think it's around about Act 1, Scene 9, but certainly I'll be talking about it with my class, so I think I might as well talk about it in this particular lecture. So there is a certain part of the text when a slide of John Misto is present, and intertwined with this visual imagery, we hear the song Keep On Smiling by Judy Garland. Now together this evokes one of the main points and one of the main aims that Misto has for this text, which was the fuel to the fire of the burning desire of these women to get their point across. Because as they returned from the war, Prime Minister Curtin greeted the ladies with the saying, "Keep on smiling," which in many ways is condescending, mildly ironic, but certainly is the focal point and can be seen as the cherry on top of the anguish some of these women would have felt. So when they walk off the plane and they're greeted and to be told keep on smiling after all of their great efforts to fight and persevere and to keep that Australian flag in the hearts of these women as they walk through and come back to Australia, it would be somewhat dehumanizing to hear such a reference made by the leader of a country. So that's why this particular scene, Act 1, Scene 9, Keep On Smiling, is a pivotal scene in the text, most notably because it is one of the aspirations of the playwright to get this story heard. Thank you.